Guten Abend, Tag von Marketing für Hippies. Ich bin in Aachen. It's a Tad from Marketing for Hippies. I'm here in Aachen still. And I leave tomorrow for Amsterdam. And I just want to make this little video because, posting videos late at night on Sundays is a peak time for traffic. But the topic of this video is about target market. And here's the punchline. Punchline is that your target market is the people who are paying for the service. I have a lot of people who come to me and say, okay, so I want to coach teens. I want to work with young kids who are struggling with this. The challenge is the teens aren't paying them. The kids aren't paying them. I say, I want to work with students but often the students aren't paying them. It's going to be the parents or the teachers or the administrators that are actually bringing them in. So the target market is whoever actually pays you, even if it's not who you're reaching. So sometimes you're in a funny situation where you've got two target markets. You've got to have some materials that the kids would respond to, and then you've got to have some materials that for the parents. So it's good to know. When FedEx first started, they thought their target market were the CEOs, because promising overnight delivery, and they got to get these things out there. But what they finally realized were the people who were actually signing the invoices and actually in charge of the money were, of course, the secretaries and the executive assistants. And when they shifted their marketing to reach those people, everything worked better. In this town in Aachen, this town grew and built because I think a lot of the money had to do with pilgrimage. A lot of pilgrims still come to this town because they've got the remains of Charlemagne, apparently, the diapers of Jesus and all sorts of relics. So people come here to visit that. And so, in other words, tourism, it's a big business. And there's a lot to say about tourism, what it does to communities, and that it's not particularly great. But, they know who they're trying to reach. And so, even though Charlemagne's ancestors were not buried here, he was kept here. And some people think in part so they would draw crowds and pilgrims, and because when the pilgrims come, they also spend money. When tourists come to a community, they also spend money, and it's the age-old conundrum of most communities: how much do you pander to the tourists? So it's very easy to get lost in, I'm trying to reach this group, but if that group can't pay you or won't pay you, that's not really your target market. Your target market is the people who pay you. Yeah. In a business, nonprofit, different thing. If it's a hobby, it's a different thing. But if you're running a business, your target market is the one who pays you. So that's tonight's late night lamplight message from Aachen.